Your book has like 5 different things.
All right, here we are with Alan Tampke, or Mr. Tampke and Mr. Barnhardt and FTR. And just to talk through the Wind Zero display, what you're seeing here in the upper left. In the upper left, you see the windsock, kind of like you would see it in an airport. This is the mouth of the windsock. So the wind is coming from the south and filling that windsock up as it orients itself into the wind. The firing azimuth at this range is right at the top of the meter. This range is oriented about 355, 360. This would be due east, due west, due south, due north. So the wind is out of the south. The lower left, that shows the compass direction of the wind. So right now we're about 170 to 160, a slight southeasterly wind. The lower right number is the total wind speed in mile per hour. So 13, 14 mile an hour. This number up here, Doug has this coded to show the crosswind value in mile per hour of this wind. So it'd be wind speed cosigned for direction to give you the mile per hour in crosswind. So here they shot, even though the wind speed was about 11 to 12 to 13 miles an hour, he shot the crosswind value was about 2 to 3 mile an hour out of the right. These are historical graphs. The current is displayed on the left, and then this shows history over time. So this depicts the total crosswind value, which would be a summary of both direction and speed. You can see this would be what you would call as a switch. Right down the center would be your let-offs. Looks like it's primarily a right side condition with let-offs that go to center and sometimes go out the left. There's a condition that went out the left, but then there's a build that goes way out to the right as well. So here you can get an idea for the tempo of this wind condition and its cycles and pulses.
So where's that wind data coming from?
Oh yeah, that's another question. We just had a spectator ask. This meter is placed at 600 meters from the firing line, 400 meters or 400 yards from the shooter, 600 yards from the target.
Okay. So it's just downrange.
Yep. About at the apogee of the trajectory of the bullet.
Is that the wind zero thing?
The wind zero meter.
Okay.
It actually is, yeah. So Applied Ballistics is using the Calypso ultrasonic sensor, and they're coming out with an ultrasonic sensor that can connect to their app. What they don't have with the Wind Zero is Doug has integrated the VHF wireless standard called LoRa with this product, the same standard that Shotmarker uses. And so now you can displace the wind sensor up to, I've seen up to, I think we tested it to 2,400 yards as far as my laser would reach on that airport, and we were still connectivity. So it allows you to put a wind sensor. What I tell you where it really works well is if you can get 2 guys together, or maybe 3, that have their own wind zeros, and then you can survey a range. You know, you can probably think about your home range, and if the condition's right to left, where you would want to put those sensors versus your firing position to try to see the wind event come across the range, versus if the wind condition goes in a different direction. Now you'd want to put the sensors in a different location to see how it affects your firing position and targets.
Interesting.
But one sensor, you can do a lot of learning. You know, really the big takeaway is if you look at those graphs, how inherently chaotic the wind is. And then, but also, the wind does have a cycle and a tempo. And learning to evaluate and learn that cycle and tempo is good. And
Coco's watching.
No.
famous.
So I haven't played around with it enough, but isn't there a tab on there where you can put your ballistics in there?
There is, yeah. It's the next page over where you could put in your specific rifle, and it'll show like a little diamond, and where you'll need to hold ammo and MOA.
Well, this profiles is where you put your rifle.
Okay, so that will give me the same bullet drift that I'm getting out of my ballistic tab.
That's what you back over that whole
And then this one will show you the drift. This is the min, the max overlap.
Okay, Tampke and Barnhardt,
Second.
and looks like Barnhardt
So that's telling me
won that one.
6.
Over to open on target 10.
With spin drift. Spin drift.
Target 12, excuse me.
So 0.
2 lanes left. That's what that's telling me. Okay, that's the function I want to use. Yeah.
This one I don't have hooked up, so it's not showing.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
The only thing it doesn't have is trim.
So we only have one side working?
Yeah, we're going live on this, but this side. The feed kept crashing online. Let's see if it'll focus.
On the bottom.
Because that shot marker shows up for double.
So who won that one?
Mark.
So
Is that 1-1?
No, it's first one. That's first one.
Oh, that would be.
Allen versus Allen?
Yeah. Is that Al versus Al? Is that Al versus Al? They're both Al's. Yeah. Yeah. Al tends to be Al. Can you guys hear it now? Yeah. Should I do the first one again for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, for those tuning in again, let me go over the Win Zero picture on the left. So in the upper left, this will be primarily probably where your eye is focused initially when you get your Win Zero. This is the compass. And this is a wind sock like you'd see at the airport. This would be the mouth of the wind sock. You know, the wind is blowing from here and inflating the wind sock, and the wind sock is orienting itself into the wind. I know some people would look at this and say it looks like an arrow. It's meant to be depicted as a wind sock. This is the mouth of the wind sock, that's the tail, and so now the wind is blowing from the southeast. At the top of the compass, that's due north. It's also the firing azimuth at Bayou Rifles. This is 180, this is due south, that's east, 090, and that's 270 to the west. The number in the lower left is the compass direction of the wind. That says like 150. So we're seeing wind out of the south, southeast. This number to the lower right is the total wind speed. So it's showing 6 to 7 mile an hour. This number up here, Doug has put into his code. This is the wind speed corrected for cosine based off the angle of the wind. So here we're showing a 6 to 7 mile an hour wind, but the actual crosswind component of the wind is only 1.2 to 3 mile an hour. These graphs down here, what you would call like historical graphs. On the left, it's plotting current conditions. And then this just gets older with time. So here I'll just draw you, this is the wind direction and that's the speed. I'll just draw you the quick summary historical diagram. This is called the crosswind value. So here you can see over time the value has been to the right. Up here it says 10 mile an hour to the right. Most of the wind has been out of the right. You can see the peaks and then the let-offs and then the builds. And there's just a few times it's switched out of the left pretty violently where you have a left crosswind component.